space, volume, which have to be in a particle model. So we're going to take a look at A and B here as our examples. And first let's talk about how we find mass, volume, and density in a particle model. What are we looking for? So for mass, we're looking at number of particles. More particles means more mass. It's just a qualitative, a non-number way to represent the differences in mass of different substances. We're not necessarily looking at a number here, but we're just looking at size of the box. So a bigger box means more volume. A smaller box means less volume, and that literally means size of this box here, because that box represents size of the container, the space that those particles are filling up. So that's volume, the space those particles take up. Lastly is density. When we're looking at density with our particles, we're looking at the spacing of the particles. Are they close together or are they far apart? How are they spaced? So let's take a look at this A and B so we can make some comparisons here. Well, for A, first if we're looking at mass, let's count particles. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 particles here. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 particles here. So that means that A and B have the same mass. It's equal. Do that in a different color. Equal. They have the same number of particles in each of their boxes. So let's talk volume. Well, if I look at the size of A's box, got this big box, versus B has this small box, well, A has a bigger volume because the box is bigger. So I'm going to put my greater than sign there. A has a bigger volume, the box is bigger. And finally, density. We're looking at the spacing between these particles. So if I look at the spaces between B and between the particles, those are some tight spaces. Versus between A, those are some bigger spaces. So the particles in B are more tightly packed. Therefore, B has a greater density. Its particles are more compact. And that makes sense, because if they have the same mass, but B has less space, well, the particles are going to have to be squished in there more tightly, versus A, which is a bigger box, it has more volume. So in B, the mass to volume ratio is higher than in A, and that's density in particle models.